Today's plant is common mullein, which is not a North American species, but quite common, naturalized in the US and Canada. It is European, I believe. Not highly invasive, though I guess a nuisance in fields, but very useful to wildlife. I read something online about there being something like 90 species or 90 different types of insect that live off mullein. So mullein is a biennial, which means that it lives for only 2 years, and this is the second year. So after this season is over, we'll be tearing it out. But you'll always find, if you have any patches of bare ground, you'll always find some more mullein appearing, so you can keep them in rotation around your property if you want. The first year of mullein, the plant exists as a rosette, which is basically a couple layers of leaves that hug the ground only. They'll stay that way for the entire first season. And then in the second year, it'll put on this tremendous growth, as you see here. This one is actually about 6.5 feet high. The second one, which also just appeared, is maybe 5'8". Not sure why. They're pretty close together. Maybe this one is a different microclimate, or maybe it just received a little bit more water than that one over here. Besides the value to insects, mullein also has appeal to birds. Goldfinches particularly like the seed when these flower heads turn over to seed. But woodpeckers have already had their way with this. Downy woodpecker has been sitting on both of these plants and just pecking at it. It's pretty amusing to watch them do that. So I think you can see perhaps that some of the seeds are gone. But you also notice that mullein flowers in kind of an irregular way. There are some flowers at the tip. There's a couple of yellow flowers up here at the tip. And there are a few down here. So it's sort of a random kind of fluorescence that you'll see there. So not the most ornamental in that regard, but interesting for wildlife value. Woodpeckers have had at it already during the summer, and in the late summer, early autumn, goldfinches will certainly be here, perhaps through the winter. We plan to leave these through the winter, and then we'll yank them up out of the ground. And lastly, you can amuse yourself with the metronomic properties of mullein, which means if you tilt it to one side and let it go, it'll swing back and forth in a way that will offer a few minutes of light amusement. So mullein, not a US or North American native, still interesting and useful for its wildlife value, not highly invasive. So if you have some on your property, consider leaving it there. Short-lived anyway, you can just pull it up whenever you feel like it.